Yeah, well, I think that coming to Man City, pandemic or not, is such a great opportunity. So I did hear about this a couple months ago and was, I mean, obviously curious what would happen with the NWSL for the rest of the year. But I think that playing overseas is something that's always interested me. And I do feel like the Challenge Cup was such a success for the NWSL that I just give them so much credit for pulling that off successfully. But for myself, this was just such a great opportunity and I didn't want to pass it up. And I can't really speak to anybody else's decision, but I know that the NWSL is still a great place to train and to play. And I think that the WSL will be as well. So I think for myself, it had a little bit of an impact just timing wise, but I'm just really happy and excited to be here. And it was a big opportunity either way.
Great. Thanks, Sam.
Yep. Ooh, Emma, I think you're on mute.
I am loving technology right now. So yeah, thanks, guys. So just moving forward with the panelists who promoted, can you just state your organisation as well, who you work for, just for the recording? So next we've got Sarah Rendell.
Hi Sam, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm from News Chain. We're a women's sport organisation. I just kind of wanted to ask you, what was it about the WSL that attracted you to sign, or was it kind of City as a club itself?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I mean, I think that when I am going to be looking back on my career, I think that playing overseas is something that I have always wanted to do, and it's something that excites me. I feel like it, in general, I think it's going to add some depth and experience to my game. So, thinking about that and thinking about the timing of when I might be able to play overseas, obviously Man City is an incredible club, and I didn't even know I would get an opportunity like this. So when I first heard about it, my ears definitely perked up just because I know what an incredible club this is and what a great place to play. And I think that the WSL, I've heard really good things from some of my teammates on the national team who've played here before. So I'm just really excited. And I think that just being around this kind of culture and playing for such a great club is going to add to kind of what I have in my repertoire as a player. So I'm just excited for the opportunity. And I think Man City is like such a cool place to get to experience this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Next up, we've got Amy.
Hey, Amy Rusky from Goal. Congrats on the move. Something I want to ask, obviously with quarantine, isolation, everything at the moment, it's a bit different, but how much of an introduction have you had to your new teammates, and are you going to mention the semi-final defeat from last summer?
Oh God, no, I'm not going to mention that at all. But no, I'm not too much of an introduction yet. Obviously, I'm here actually in Manchester, but I'm quarantining, so I've only like met a few of them like personally. Obviously, I've played against a lot of them, and a few of the girls have texted me just on WhatsApp so far, which has been nice to know that like they know I'm here, but I haven't seen them yet or anything. So I'm really excited. I think that in my soccer career, like the best part has always been the team and the girls. So I feel like that's the only thing that's missing so far. So I'm looking forward to being done with quarantine and getting to meet and play with them.
Thanks, Amy. Sandra?
Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm
fine, thank you. So in a recent interview you did, you talked about how much you admired Manchester City's midfield and in particular Kira Walsh amongst their players. I mean, how do you see yourself fitting into the midfield, and would you describe your style of play, and how do you think you'll complement each other in next season?
Yeah, well, I know a bunch of the midfielders here that are just so talented, and Kara Walsh being one of them, Jill Scott obviously being another. And I remember watching Caroline Ware during the World Cup and just thinking that she was such a great player, so smart and tactical. So, I mean, I'm going to have to earn some playing time. I know it's going to be really competitive, and all the girls here are going to be so good. So I'm going to really have to perform well to make sure I can get out there on the field. And I think that I hope something that I could maybe bring is just my like attacking mindset. I feel like being from America, we play this really aggressive style, and I'm going to have a lot to learn here, and a lot to adapt to, I think, but I hope that I can bring a little bit of that aggressiveness in going forward. That's something I feel like I have worked on a lot through the past couple of years with the teams I've been on.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. Brandon?
Hi, Sam. Brandon Chase from Boston Globe here.
Hi.
Thanks for your time here. I'm curious about, what do you think this will kind of mean for, maybe the possibility of, now that you've signed over with Manchester, maybe the possibility of more of your kind of former U.S. national team teammates maybe kind of looking for other opportunities to play in different programs, overseas during this time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't obviously speak to anybody else's situation. I think several of my teammates have played overseas in the past, and I feel like it's such an individual decision. Like, you kind of have to be at the right stage in your career, in the right place in your personal life, and it's a big decision and a big step. So, I mean, I don't foresee there being like a huge influx, but I don't know. That's just like my speculation. I think it's such a great opportunity, and there absolutely could be, but I also think that the NWSL is such a great place to play, and for all the girls who are still playing with their teams there, and I'm sure we'll have something more later this year and into early next year. So, I mean, obviously I can't really speak for anybody else, but I feel like both options are really great and really great opportunities, and I think each individual player kind of just has to make a decision on what's best for them. So I feel like there's no wrong answer.
Susie, did you have your hands up there?
I'm with you. Can you hear me okay?
Got you loud and clear.
Grand. Hi, Sam. It's Susie Rack from The Guardian. Congratulations on the move. So I wonder if you could give us a little bit of an insight into how the approach came about and how the move developed and what your thoughts were, whether it was a complete surprise, whether you had kind of started to look elsewhere abroad at all, whether it was, just, kind of complete out of the blue move.
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of uncertainty for such a long time in the States that it had crossed my mind, but I don't think I like actively was seeking anything out earlier this year. And my agent actually brought this up to me at some point over the summer, and like I said earlier, my ears just kind of perked up, I think, just because it's Man City and such a great club and such a great team, and I've heard such awesome things about playing in this league and the experience of playing overseas and how it's just like able to help develop your game in a new and different way. So I think that it was obviously like mutual interest, and I'm really fortunate and happy that it worked out, because I do think the timing for me is something that played into it, and it's something that I think is a key time for me to keep pushing, to keep developing and growing as a player. So I'm really just honored that Man City was interested and that they gave me this opportunity. So we're just really looking forward to taking advantage of it.
Thanks, Susie. Carl?
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi, it's Carl Markham from PA Media here. Yeah, just to go back to, I think, the first question you answered in relation to, the global pandemic we're in at the moment, and there's a lot of uncertainty for everyone, never mind football clubs and footballers. I just wondered what sort of personal considerations you had to sort of think about going into the move. When it would it obviously be a lot easier to stay at a club that's won 2 championships and 2 shields in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think that it's tough. I mean, like I said, like every individual, I think in their career wants to like accomplish certain things and develop in certain ways and kind of experience different things. So for me, like, I love the Courage, and I hope to return there someday. It's been like an absolute honor and joy playing in the NWSL and playing for the Courage and being part of such a successful team. So it's not like I was searching to leave. I love it there, and I really hope that I have the opportunity to go back. But I do think that there was a part of me that was, when I heard about this opportunity, was really excited about the chance at doing something different and getting a little bit outside my comfort zone. I know with COVID happening, it's just kind of thrown a lot of twists and turns around for everybody. And obviously soccer and football is coming secondary to everybody's health and safety. But I thought that this season here in the WSL was a really good opportunity for me to continue to develop and push myself and grow. So it felt like the right decision and such a good opportunity. I didn't want to pass it up. There's obviously a lot of uncertainty. So, I mean, personally, I have been thinking about my family. I know my husband's going to try to come stay here for a little bit. But I think that my family's been overall really supportive, and obviously the club is taking really good care of me so far. So I'm confident that it will all work out really well, and I feel safe and like we're following all these protocols to keep everybody safe. So I feel like it's been really positive.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Eric?
Hi, Sam. Eric McHugh from the Patriot Ledger here. Thanks for doing this.
Hi, Eric. How
Hi.
are you?
Good, good. First of all, one really small question. Have you any experience of driving on the left side of the road?
No, none. And I don't know if I plan on it.
How about the NWSL Challenge Cup? What that whole experience? And I know it didn't end with you winning the title, but Christy winning it. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I thought the NWSL did such a good job with it, to be the first team sports league back and successful and to complete the tournament with no positive cases. I mean, it was so impressive, and I think that the NWSL is in such good hands from all of its leadership. So I know that a lot more successful events like that are definitely coming up in the future of the NWSL. I think competing in the tournament was really exciting. It was obviously really hard to not go all the way. My team had high expectations, and I think it was pretty disappointing for us to lose early. But like I've been saying, if I couldn't get to the final, at least my sister could. So I was really proud of her, and watching her win was so exciting for my family. And I was so proud of the role that she played for the Dash. I think she had a really great tournament. So I just give the NWSL a lot of credit, and all the girls who really stuck to the protocols and were really careful, really safe, and really diligent the whole time before and when we got there. I think it was tough, but definitely a successful tournament, and something I'm glad and proud that we were a part of.
Perfect. Thanks, Eric. Jonathan?
Thank you, Sam. Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. You know what? I was listening to the interview you did with Ariel Castillo on the team's website. You signed, and you mentioned Carly Lloyd's tenure in Manchester, and it reminded me of something that she said when she was over there, which was how great it was to be, in the sort of the campus of Manchester City and the facilities that they have. And, back then they were a lot better than what there was in the NWSL. And these days they're still better than what they are in the NWSL, even though the league has gotten better about a lot of that stuff. Do you think that, as more American players go to Europe for whatever amount of time to try it out, and especially high profile players like yourself, that it's going to force the NWSL to continue to raise its game to continue to be appealing to the big time players in the world?
Well, I think that the NWSL's growth has been remarkable the past couple of years. I feel personally like the facilities in North Carolina are world class, and the fields we play on, our locker room, everything's been really great. And the NWSL is a young league, and I think it's grown really quickly and had a lot of success in that regard. So I'm rooting for the NWSL to continue to grow, as I know it will. And I just think the opportunity to use and play at facilities like the ones here in Manchester is great for me. And I'm really excited about it, but I do completely support the NWSL, and I know that they will just continue to grow and support their players as quickly as the league can grow. So I'm really confident in that, and also just really excited to be here and to experience life in Manchester and use the facilities here that look like they're going to be really awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jonathan. Just a reminder, guys, if you want to raise your hand, we're down to the last couple of questions as it stands, so make sure you get your hands up there. Now we've got Dan.
Hey, Sam. Dan Lauletta from Equalizer. Thanks for your time today. On the quarantine front, are you committed to being in England for a set period of time, meaning that like you can't come home for trips or to visit family? And did you speak to Vlatko about that in terms of, if there is a fall camp or a January camp that you may not be able to just make a quick trip home for that because of different restrictions in place?
I mean, I'm committed to be here to play in Manchester and to live here. I'm available for camps. I have spoken to Vlatko, and I think as it stands, I'm available for any camps that might come up this fall.
And as a quick follow-up, what was your conversation with Paul Riley like when you told him you were going over to Manchester?
Yeah, I mean, I told Paul when this opportunity came up that it might be in the cards, and he was very supportive. I think that Paul and I have a great relationship, and I have a great relationship with the Courage, and I think we have a good understanding with each other of what this opportunity was going to be like for me. So I felt like I had his understanding and support in making a decision that I felt would be really good for me at this time. And I hope that the Courage continues to retain my rights, because if I do return to the NWSL someday, of course, I would want to go back and play for the Courage. So I think that as things stand, we have a really good relationship, and we were just texting yesterday, and he was giving me some recommendations for when my quarantine ends. So I love Paul, and he's been so great for me in my career, and I know that our relationship will continue to be good.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Dan. Another one from Amy.
Yeah, there we go. With the Courage, you've won everything that you can win in the States several times over. How much did the draw of a new challenge and the chance to win new trophies and compete in new competitions play a part in coming over to Manchester?
Yeah, we've had a lot of success at the Courage, and I've been really fortunate to be a part of such a talented team. I think that, like I have kind of said, like when I'm done with soccer and when I look back at my career, I have always wanted to play overseas, and I feel like on every soccer player's bucket list is to play in Champions League. And it is exciting. I mean, the possibility of winning something I've never won before, it's definitely an exciting challenge, and I'm just really honored that I have this opportunity to get to compete over here and play with new players. I think what really drew me here was this desire to continue to develop and to really try to push myself to keep growing and adding new skills and new depths to my game. So definitely competing for something new is an exciting part of that.
Thanks, Amy. Another one from Carl.
Okay, Tom. Just wondering what the best piece of advice you've been given from anyone about moving to England or Manchester specifically has been?
I was talking to Becky Sauerbrunn a couple days ago, and she was just telling me that, and Becky's like kind of an introvert. I don't know if you guys know that, but she was telling me that in her time in Norway, she made herself like say yes to everything. So if the girls invited her to go do something, or where Becky might normally have been like, oh no, I'm okay, she definitely tried to like insert herself into the team and try like new things and new adventures. So I appreciated that she shared that with me, just because I know Becky, and I know her tendency would be to be more of an introvert, but it definitely was a good reminder that I'm here for more than just soccer. This is like kind of a life experience to live overseas. So I'm gonna try to say yes if the girls ask me to do anything.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Carl. Jonathan?
Thanks. It's Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer again. Sam, I want to just get a follow-up about something. You've mentioned today a couple things about the timing of all of this and the many factors that have gone in, with the NWSL and so on. I wonder if the postponement of the Olympics might also have been a factor, because it opened up perhaps a wider stretch of time here to go try something, like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much uncertainty. I think part of me is like, I want to try to make the Olympics roster. It's a really tough roster to make. It's something I haven't done before. So part of it was like, how can I be the best player I can be when Vlatko is making those roster decisions? But it is like tricky. I mean, you want to be, it's like just a little scary doing something new, and doing something that you've never done before. So I think I'm hoping that making this decision will continue to push me and grow my game, help me develop as a player, and that will put me in the best position possible to try to make the Olympics roster. But again, like you said, there's just a lot of uncertainty around the pandemic and everything that might happen. So I just felt like either way, playing overseas was something I have wanted to experience in my career, and this opportunity to play for Man City was just such an honor that I wanted to take advantage of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Amy?
Last one from me, kind of a double one. So over here that we've been able to watch the NWSL for quite a while, through a lot of different ways. Obviously now we've got the FA player here, which means that people in the States are going to be able to watch you play and play for Man City. How exciting do you think that is for the guys back in the States wanting to watch this league and watch you? And also, how much of the WSL have you been able to watch?
Yeah, so I think that the FA player, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that it streams all live matches, highlights, and like features even in America.
Yeah.
So like what can people subscribe and then
so is it, you know, like on Twitch you like download the app, don't
Yeah.
you? And just, yeah, it's just like that.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I hope that all the American reporters can maybe put that in there. I think that would be great. But I think it's obviously great. I'll have to tell my parents how to do it, but I know they'll be excited to be able to watch the games. And I think for me personally, I haven't actually gotten to watch that much of the WSL, but knowing now that there's this way to do it, I think will be really helpful for the accessibility for people all over and in the States too.
And how much have you been able to watch the league like in the last couple of years? Have you seen much of it?
No, I haven't seen that much of it. To be honest, I've seen some highlights here and there, but I haven't actually watched much.
So it's all going to be a big surprise.
I guess so.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Right, we've got time for a couple more questions if anybody wants to throw anything in there. Don't be shy. Stephen?
Hi, Sam. What do you hope your presence there, your performances there, inject or portray American football? Obviously, the national team is well known. The NWSL and the clubs are getting more popular. But what do you think an American presence over the course of a long season will do for the image of U.S. women's soccer?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that, like, personally, I feel like I've worked, like, I'm kind of known for being aggressive and going forward and like maybe dribbling out of the midfield at speed. And I feel like that's a mentality piece that's I have like learned from my American club team and the national team. So I obviously haven't played with the girls here yet, and I don't know if that will be unique or different in any way, but I am hoping I can bring that kind of attacking, aggressive mindset, and I would really like to be productive and like get goals and assists and help the team really put away games. So I'm excited for the opportunity, and I know it's going to be tough to compete with the midfield here, and that I'm going to have to earn some playing time. But I do think that maybe the American qualities that I have in my game will help me to succeed here.
Thanks, Sam.
Great stuff. I'm going to moonlight a little bit here. I'm just going to ask a question on behalf of Molly Hudson from The Times. Unfortunately, Molly's got issues with sound in the background, so she asked me to ask on her behalf, Sam. She said, how much communication have you had with Gareth Taylor, with him obviously being new to the job and the team as well?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Taylor a couple times before I decided like officially to come. And I thought that the way he spoke about what he wanted to do here was really exciting. And he seems like someone who could help me add some depth to my game. And we talked a little bit about specifics about that. So and then once I decided to come, he reached out and congratulated me, and we've been on the phone a little bit, just talking again about a little bit of tactics and what he wants to do here and what my role might be. So I'm really excited to work with him, and I know that the girls really like him, and he's been at City for a long time. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and I think that it will be an exciting chance for me to grow and learn.
Brilliant. Dan, and then if we've got any last questions, you want to get them in now, and then we'll start wrapping things up.
Hi again, Sam. You said you haven't watched a lot of the FSL, but I'm wondering, did you watch the Premier League at all growing up? And if so, is there a team that you followed or still follow in the Premier League?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you guys are going to roll your eyes, but I do really like Man City. I really like Kevin De Bruyne. I think he's like, I would try to emulate him if I could. I think he's just like such a great midfielder and a great player. And watching the team play is so much fun. I said this the other day, but I watched the All or Nothing on Amazon Prime like a couple of times, and I just like really admire the way the men's team operates and strives to play. So I'm excited for them for the next couple of weeks. And then I don't know if I'll be like shunned for saying this, but obviously Paul Riley is a Liverpool fan, and the girls kind of had to adopt a little bit of love for Liverpool because he would be so nice to us when they won. So we all kind of learned to cheer for them. And I think growing up, mostly I watched the U.S. women's national team. I was just a big fan of them. But as I like got a little bit older and learned that I should be watching more soccer, I started watching the Premier League more. So I'm excited to be here and to experience this culture here in England. And I hope that I can go to a couple games, maybe if it's like safe soon.